Hey folks, I want to introduce a tool to all of you called 131. I'm not going to be able to be there for a little while, so I want you to watch this video and hopefully learn the importance of what it is and why you'd want to use it. So in companies, there are a lot of reasons why people will seek out a manager for answers rather than coming up with an answer themselves. 5 of the most common reasons are permission seeking. For example, maybe you want reassurance before acting. You already know the answer, but you feel like you should still ask, should I send that email now? Another is fear of making mistakes. You don't want to be wrong. You would rather shift responsibility upward, especially if it's a manager who has criticized you before. So you'll often want to clarify, is this the right way of doing it, or should I do it this way? There are people who want to avoid accountability by asking somebody who is your superior in some way. You're transferring ownership, so if something goes wrong, maybe the person that gets called out isn't you. One of the big ones is this habit of dependency. Some employees are conditioned to check in, and they're so used to it that they don't even realize they're doing it, which becomes the default behavior. This one I find true a lot of times, because if you did this in your personal life, there'd be a lot of people that got more upset. And another one is clarity gaps. Sometimes they generally don't know what to look for, so it's just easier to go find it from somebody else. So how do we combat that? What do we do? Well, there's a tool called 131, and I want you to start using this tool before you go see someone, because I think one of the most underrated skills is taking the initiative to problem solve on your own. So what do? You need to come up with one potential problem that you feel you want to deal with. So what is the problem in question? Then you want to come up with 3 potential ways you could solve that problem. Now, it doesn't always have to be 3, but 3 shows you put some thought process into it. So for example, if the problem is, should I include statistics in the email I'm sending to one of our suppliers? One solution should be, yes, I should send statistics because they'd want to do it. 2 could be, no, I don't want to send statistics because I don't think they'll read it. Or 3 is, yes, I do, but I need to learn what the client wants in order to send the right statistics. So even just by going through that activity, you can see, and I just made this up on the spot, I probably know it's 3. So the solution I would choose, 131, is the 3rd one. And so now I have a new problem. The new problem I've come up with is, what are some statistics that I believe this supplier would want to know? And I need to come up with 3 new solutions. This forces me to think through that and again, select one more. And the reason we want to do this is typically what it's going to allow us to do is try to problem solve on our own. But if we do get stuck and we want clarification and we go to a manager, now they can help coach us. They can coach us on how we selected the problem. They can coach us on the solutions that may have been chosen. And ultimately, they can coach us on the solution we chose. So in this case, if you go through that next step and determine what are 3 different statistics that the supplier might like to know, and one could be return on investment, one could be the warranty, and one could be the product specs. You could sit back and say, okay, well, in this case, this client has had a bunch of products sent back recently. I think they'd be interested in the warranty. I think they'd be interested for these reasons. Now, if you're still not sure that's the right thing, now when you go to the manager, they have the ability to do that. So this is what we want to install. It's called 131. The purpose behind it is to take some accountability and ownership and try to think things through before we approach managers. So I hope this video is helpful. I will see you in person. We can roll it out.